We've finally got Big Red up and running for the first time this year. Gentlemen,
What's happening?
I mean, the best thing that's happening right now is fuel prices really low and gold prices up. That's a good thing.
Parker Schnable just spent $25 million buying his neighbor's land, but the risk is huge. His team, already working too hard, now has even more land to mine with no room for mistakes. Then disaster hits. An important part of the wash plant breaks. Without it, there's no gold, and without gold, everything could fall apart. Tune in, because if they don't fix it fast, this could be the risk that destroys everything. Parker Schnable's $25 million gamble. Parker didn't hesitate. It all started a few weeks ago when a neighboring landowner approached him with an offer to sell. Most would weigh their options, negotiate, maybe even hesitate before making such a huge financial commitment. But Parker isn't most people. He's built for risk. When he sees an opportunity, he grabs it with both hands and never looks back. But this wasn't just land, it was a buried secret waiting to surface. Today, he signed the deal. With that signature, his already vast gold mining operation just got even bigger. This latest acquisition isn't just a few extra acres, it's a staggering 1,100 acres at Gold Run, plus 950 more at Sulphur Creek. Add that to the thousands of acres he already controls, and his kingdom now stretches across nearly 10,000 acres of prime, gold-rich ground. It's an expansion on a scale that most miners couldn't even dream of. His team isn't exactly celebrating the news. They're already running operations on multiple sites, stretched thin as they try to keep everything moving. Now, with even more ground to cover, the pressure to perform has never been higher. The workload was already relentless. This just turned it into a whole new level of chaos. The numbers speak for themselves. They're already stripping 8 acres at one lease site, mining 20 acres at the long cut, and handling 114 acres at the bridge cut. Now they've got to find a way to tackle Sulphur Creek and Gold Run without breaking under the pressure. It's a tightrope act, and one misstep could send the entire operation spiraling. With expansion comes an even greater reliance on heavy machinery. Every piece of equipment has to be in top condition, running at full capacity without failure. The problem? If just one critical machine goes down, the entire operation grinds to a halt. And of course, just as the team gears up for this massive undertaking, disaster strikes. A crucial part of the wash plant, the metal bar that keeps the dirt contained, shatters. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. If that bar fails completely, the entire wash plant becomes useless. No wash plant means no gold means no money. And with $25 million already spent, every single day of downtime is a financial hit they can't afford. The mechanics dive into emergency repairs, racing against time to patch up the damage before the night shift. They're welding, reinforcing, doing whatever it takes to get the plant operational again. If they don't, his high-stakes gamble could be in serious jeopardy before it even gets off the ground. For now, the machines are rolling, the crew is grinding, and the gold is still coming in. But this is uncharted territory. And with this much on the line, one thing is certain: this season is shaping up to be the most intense one yet. And then there's the competition. He isn't the only miner out there looking to strike it big. With so much land under his control, rivals are watching closely, waiting for any sign of weakness. If his crew struggles to keep up, if his equipment starts failing, if the gold production doesn't hit his ambitious targets, it could open the door for others to capitalize on his missteps. There's no room for failure, not at this level, but he is all about risk. 2 days after sealing the deal on Sulphur Creek, they fire up the wash plant on its new ground. If this works, they might just have struck gold, literally. If not, well, no one wants to think about that. The first test run kicks off and the numbers start rolling in. Long Cut on Dominion has been churning out a solid amount of gold, but his sights are set higher. The Bridge Cut has been disappointing all season, barely scraping together anything worth celebrating. Ken and Stewart's Cut, on the other hand, has been the unexpected star, producing a steady flow of gold. And then there's Sulphur Creek. This is the moment of truth. The team gathers around as the weigh-in begins. The numbers climb, 20, 40, 60, 100, and climbing fast. The final count? Over 140 ounces in just 2 days, almost double what the Bridge Cut produced in a week. That's the kind of win he needs, and it's already paying for itself. The gamble might just be working, And the team, despite their doubts, can't argue with cold, hard gold. Adding up the week's total, they're sitting on over 535 ounces, more than half the cost of Sulphur Creek covered in one go. Not bad for a last-minute high-stakes purchase. He might take crazy risks, but when they pay off, they pay big. And with this kind of momentum, who knows what he'll do next? One bold move can change everything. He isn't just after gold anymore. He's after total control. A new empire rises. The crew might doubt, they might complain, they might question his decisions, but when the weigh-ins keep stacking up, there's nothing left to say. The numbers don't lie. His new land is producing, and if they keep pushing at this pace, they could be looking at one of their best seasons yet. This isn't just a lucky break, it's a calculated move by a man who refuses to play it safe. The dirt keeps coming, the gold keeps flowing, and as long as he's willing to take the risks, the crew better be ready to back him up. Because this is only the beginning. But they're not done, not even close. There's more land to mine, more dirt to move, more records to break. He's not just chasing gold, he's rewriting the rules of the game, one bold move at a time. That's why he made a move that had his crew doing double takes. He didn't just buy more land, he bought up his neighbors. This wasn't just another land grab to keep the gold flowing. This was bigger, smarter, a game changer. Because while everyone else was focused on ounces of gold, he had his sights set on something even more valuable. What was hiding underneath the surface? The land at Sulphur Creek had more than just gold. It had something the world was suddenly desperate for. Minerals used in electric vehicles, tech gadgets, and futuristic industries. Gold had made him rich, but this could make him untouchable. See, he isn't just a miner. He's a strategist. He understands that the mining world is shifting. The old school way of thinking, dig, extract, cash out, is dying. The real power is in diversification, and that's exactly what he's doing. Step 1. Stop thinking about just gold. The world runs on more than shiny metal. Lithium, copper, rare earth minerals, those are the future. He made sure his latest acquisitions had them. Now he's sitting on land that could fuel the next generation of technology. Step 2. Don't just dig, own. Mining is a vicious cycle. You strike gold, you make money, you reinvest in more mining, and then you pray the market doesn't collapse. He saw the trap and sidestepped it. He started buying up real estate. Not just any real estate, smart strategic property. Growing cities, prime land, commercial investments. While other miners are sweating over gold prices, he's making passive income that keeps him in the game no matter what happens. Step 3. Build alliances. He isn't just going at this alone, he's teaming up with companies that specialize in multi-resource extraction. These guys know how to mine more than gold, and together they're tapping into something way bigger than a single gold rush. Of course, not everyone's on board. His team, skeptical. They know gold. They've spent their lives chasing it. But lithium, copper, this is uncharted territory. Some of them weren't convinced until the first test results rolled in. Turns out his instincts were spot on. The ground beneath their boots wasn't just valuable, it was a gold mine of the future. But here's the thing about him. He doesn't wait for people to catch up. He moves first, asks questions later. While the rest of the mining world is still debating the future, he's already building it. The next big play? Infrastructure. Owning the land is one thing. Extracting resources efficiently is another. He's investing in better transport routes, high-tech processing facilities, and a logistics network that will keep his operations running smoothly no matter what. If he's going to mine, he's going to do it smarter, faster, and more efficiently than anyone else. The truth is, Parker Schnable isn't playing the same game he started with. He's rewriting the rules. Gold built his empire, but it won't be the only thing that sustains it. He's thinking bigger, planning smarter, and taking risks most miners wouldn't dare touch. And if history has shown us anything, it's that when he takes a gamble, it's usually a winning bet. This isn't just another land grab, this is a power move. And whether the world is ready for it or not, he's already 5 steps ahead. But the journey doesn't stop there. His plan stretches further into places most miners never dare to look. He's not just acquiring land, he's creating an ecosystem. This isn't about short-term profits, It's about long-term domination. Every parcel of land, every dollar invested, every strategic move builds into something bigger. Take his approach to sustainability. Old mining techniques destroy the land, wreck the environment, and leave behind wastelands. He knows that model is outdated. He's investing in greener, smarter extraction methods, the kind that don't just pull resources from the ground, but preserve the land's future value. Because in this industry, sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's the difference between surviving and thriving. And let's talk about his financial moves. Most miners get rich and burn through their wealth. They pour it all back into more mining, leaving themselves vulnerable to every market dip. He is building an empire that withstands those shifts. His real estate holdings alone ensure steady cash flow, allowing him to take risks without betting the farm. Every dollar he makes goes into assets that work for him. He's not just digging wealth out of the ground, he's structuring it to last generations. He never plays it safe. This deal isn't just about gold, it's about shaping the future, no matter the cost. The gamble that could shake an industry. There's no slowing down. There's no playing it safe. There's only the next big risk. He isn't just shaping his own future, he's shaping the entire industry. Every move is calculated. Every investment is a step toward complete dominance. The landscape of mining is shifting, and he isn't just adapting to it, he's creating it. Parker Schnable just pulled a move no one saw coming. The young gold miner, famous from Gold Rush, didn't just buy more land, he bought his neighbor's land, shaking up the whole game. While other miners scrape by, he is out here making power plays, expanding his empire like a king staking his claim. But is this genius strategy or a massive gamble? Let's break it down. He isn't new to high-stakes mining, but this latest deal is on another level. His company, Little Flake Mining, locked in a production royalty deal with Metallic Minerals Corporation. In simple terms, he gets the right to mine over 8 kilometers of gold-rich land in the Yukon without having to buy it outright. Instead of a huge upfront payment, he'll share a cut of the gold with Metallic Minerals. Smart, right? This deal gives him immediate access to fresh ground without draining his bank account. This isn't just any land, it's Australia Creek, a stretch in the legendary Klondike Gold District. While the Klondike has pumped out over 20 million ounces of gold since the 1800s, this specific spot remained untouched for decades. Why? Because back in the day, it was a water source for major dredging operations. Now, with modern mining tech and no old-school restrictions, it's a potential gold mine. He's basically sitting on a jackpot waiting to be cracked open. Under this agreement, he is committing at least $1 million a year in mining operations on this land. In return, Metallic Minerals will take a slice of whatever gold he pulls out. The setup is a win-win. He gets land without the upfront burden of buying it, and Metallic Minerals gets a steady stream of passive income from the operation. It's a business move that could pay off massively if the land produces the way history suggests it might. Of course, no big move comes without risks. Mining in new territory means setting up infrastructure from scratch, roads, camps, processing sites, while racing against the short Yukon mining season. To get ahead of the curve, his team started drilling over 400 test holes in the winter, mapping out the richest zones before full-scale mining starts in June. Before the snow even melted, he was already laying the groundwork. Another major factor? Environmental regulations. Yukon has strict mining laws designed to protect the land, and he knows he has to play by the rules. He's already proven he can, winning awards for his environmental efforts. This means replanting, restoring, and making sure the land isn't left in ruins when the gold's gone. It's an extra challenge, but he's built his reputation on balancing profit with a responsibility. If Australia Creek turns out to be as rich as expected, he could be looking at one of his biggest paydays ever. The Klondike's history suggests this land could hold gold deposits on par with the best sites in the region. But there's no guarantee. Mining is always a gamble, and investing millions into new land means betting big. If gold prices drop or the land underperforms, it could be a costly lesson. But if it pays off, he cements himself as one of the smartest players in the industry. This move isn't just about one claim, it's about a shift in how he plays the game. While other miners struggle to keep up, he's expanding his reach, locking in strategic partnerships and using innovative deals to avoid massive upfront costs. The royalty model lets him scale fast without overextending financially. It's a tactic big mining companies use, and he's proving he can play at that level. At the same time, it highlights the evolving nature of modern gold mining. Gone are the days of lone prospectors with pickaxes. Now it's all about strategic alliances, advanced technology, and maximizing efficiency. He isn't just digging for gold, he's redefining how mining is done in the 21st century. With the drill results coming in and mining set to kick off, all eyes are on him. If he strikes big, this could mark a turning point in his career, proving he's not just a talented miner, but a true industry leader. If the claim underperforms, it'll be a tough setback, but knowing him, he won't back down easily. This move just shook up the game, and the gold mining world will be watching closely. One thing's for sure, he isn't slowing down anytime soon. His team isn't just drilling holes and hoping for the best. Every move is carefully calculated. The drill program is targeting specific layers of gravel known to hold gold in the region. The results will determine where the wash plants are placed and how operations are structured. It's a high-stakes game of strategy where one misstep could cost millions. Beyond the equipment and labor costs, there's another key factor: weather. The Yukon is known for its harsh winters, and the mining season is painfully short. Every day counts, and any delays due to equipment failure, permits, or unforeseen setbacks can eat into profits fast. That's why his aggressive approach, starting the drill program early and having a full crew ready to go, is crucial. He's leaving nothing to chance. His deal isn't just about his own success. It represents a shift in how modern mining operations are structured. The days of buying massive tracts of land outright are fading in favor of royalty-based agreements. This allows smaller operators to compete with the big players without requiring billion-dollar investments up front. The mining industry has always been brutal, filled with financial risks, environmental hurdles, and cutthroat competition. But he is proving that with the right strategy, even independent miners can carve out a space and thrive. This isn't just about digging gold, it's about playing the long game and outmaneuvering the competition. If this move pays off, it sets a precedent. More miners may look to royalty agreements as a way to expand without the crushing financial burden of outright land purchases. Metallic Minerals, in turn, benefits by securing a passive revenue stream without having to invest in mining operations themselves. It's a mutually beneficial model that could reshape how mining deals are structured in the future. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on Australia Creek. Will this be the claim that solidifies his legacy? Or will it be a harsh lesson in the unpredictable world of gold mining? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: he isn't just mining gold. He's rewriting the rules of the game. Parker Schnable is taking steps that could redefine modern mining, but is he building an empire or setting himself up for disaster? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the biggest bets in gold mining.
It's been an emotional season. We faced some pretty big decisions.
We're spending a lot of money right now, trying to get this payout.
Mine boss Parker Schnable may have bitten off more than he can chew. To pay for his Dominion Creek claim and bank as much gold as possible.
Parker Schnable's relentless drive for gold mining almost led to disaster when his unyielding ambition pushed his crew to the brink. During one grueling season, his insistence on working through freezing conditions, endless hours, and constant mechanical failures resulted in a shocking scene. A crew member collapsing under the relentless strain. The collapse was a wake-up call that sent shockwaves through the entire operation. Let us uncover how Parker's choices nearly cost him everything, and what shocking changes followed to rebuild trust and save his team from breaking beyond repair. The high price of ambition. A prominent figure in the gold mining reality show. Gold Rush is known for being a relentless workaholic. His energy and ambition to strike gold are unmatched. However, this unyielding determination can sometimes push things too far. One season, his drive nearly pushed the team to their limits, risking their health and safety. But one fateful discovery threatened to unravel everything. and its truth remains a mystery. Mining for gold isn't for the faint of heart. It's a demanding and grueling endeavor, and the crew knows this all too well. Having taken over the family's gold mining business at a young age, he has always been laser-focused on achieving record-breaking goals. But chasing those goals often comes with a price, and this time the team bore the brunt of it. During one particular season, an ambitious target was set, more gold than ever before. To achieve this, the working hours were significantly increased. The crew worked tirelessly, often without adequate rest. They faced freezing temperatures, constant mechanical issues, and an unforgiving schedule. Despite the challenges, the push to keep going remained relentless, and the strain began to show. The physical demands of mining are brutal. Endless hours of hauling equipment, managing heavy machinery, and working in harsh weather conditions drain the team's energy. Fatigue set in, far beyond mere tiredness, becoming an oppressive and constant weight. Minds grew foggy, reflexes dulled, and tempers flared. Working under such conditions amplified the risks inherent in handling heavy machinery and navigating unpredictable environments. The relentless grind allowed no margin for error, where mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences. It wasn't long before the crew began to crumble under the pressure. Complaints about exhaustion and discomfort became common, but Parker's drive to meet his ambitious goals left little room for compromise. Some crew members felt frustrated, while others pushed themselves even harder, determined to prove their worth. The sense of unity that usually held the team together started to fracture, replaced by rising tension and a palpable sense of strain. The breaking point came during a grueling stretch when one of the crew members collapsed on site. It was clear they were utterly spent, physically and mentally. That moment froze everything. The rest of the crew stood in stunned silence, their exhaustion mirrored in the scene before them. For Parker, this was a wake-up call that couldn't be ignored. The reality of what his relentless drive had done to his team finally hit home. He realized that no amount of gold was worth jeopardizing their health and safety. This incident shone a harsh light on Parker's leadership style. His relentless pursuit of success had always been a double-edged sword. Some admired his focus and determination, while others felt he failed to understand the limits of his team. The collapse made it clear that something had to change. Parker had pushed too hard for too long, and now the consequences were undeniable. In the aftermath, Parker knew he needed to adjust. He began implementing changes to prioritize the crew's well-being. Work schedules were adjusted to allow for more rest. The team's diet and hydration were improved, ensuring they had the fuel to keep going. Parker also encouraged open communication, urging his crew to speak up if they were feeling overwhelmed. These changes didn't solve every problem overnight, but they marked an important shift in how the operation was run. For Parker, the changes weren't just about preventing another collapse. They were about rebuilding trust with his team. He openly admitted that he'd pushed them too hard and took responsibility for what had happened. This willingness to acknowledge his mistakes earned him respect from many of his crew members. They saw that he was serious about making things better and that he genuinely cared about their well-being. The adjustments also had a noticeable impact on morale. The crew began to feel more valued and supported. With more rest and better conditions, they were able to work more efficiently and safely. The sense of teamwork that had been frayed started to return. It wasn't a perfect fix, but it was a step in the right direction. This experience also taught Parker some hard truths about ambition. While his passion for gold mining remained undiminished, he came to understand the importance of balance. Success isn't just about hitting targets. It's about doing so in a way that's sustainable and respectful to everyone involved. This realization marked a turning point in how Parker approached his work and his team. Mining is one of the toughest industries out there. It demands strength, perseverance, and an ability to adapt to constant challenges. Parker's story highlights the importance of teamwork and empathy in overcoming those challenges. His growth as a leader showed that even in the harshest environments, understanding and care can make all the difference. Parker Schnable's near miss with his crew's health was a defining moment in his career. It forced him to confront the limits of his ambition and the impact of his decisions on those around him. By learning from his mistakes and making changes, Parker not only strengthened his team, but also grew as a person. His story is a reminder that true success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you achieve it and who you bring along for the ride. For fans, this chapter in Gold Rush was a powerful reminder of the stakes involved in gold mining. It showed the grit and determination needed to succeed, but also the importance of knowing when to pause and take care of your team. Parker's journey is a story of ambition, resilience, and growth, proving that even in the toughest conditions, there's always room for improvement and learning. Parker's drive for gold pushes his team to their limits. What will it cost them? Picking up the pieces after betrayal. Determined not to let the betrayal define him, he took proactive steps to protect his operation. He invested in additional security measures, from better cameras to stricter access controls. These changes weren't just about safeguarding his equipment, they were about reclaiming his peace of mind. Knowing his site was secure allowed him to focus on what he does best, mining for gold and leading his team through adversity. This experience, as painful as it was, became a turning point for him. It forced him to reevaluate who he trusts and how he runs his operation. While he remains cautious, he hasn't let the betrayal make him bitter. Instead, he's chosen to view it as a lesson, one that will ultimately make him stronger and more resilient. His story is a stark reminder that betrayal can come from the unlikeliest places. It's a cautionary tale for anyone who puts their faith in others, highlighting the importance of vigilance without losing sight of the good in people. Even in the face of betrayal, his unwavering determination and positive outlook prove that setbacks are just setups for comebacks. As he moves forward, he's focused on rebuilding and thriving. The theft was a dark chapter, but it's not the end of his story. With characteristic grit and the unwavering support of his team and fans, Ness is set to turn this setback into yet another testament to his resilience. If gold mining has taught him anything, it's that the hardest battles yield the richest rewards, and he is more determined than ever to claim what's his. Still, this wasn't the first time Rick found himself staring adversity in the face, and it likely won't be the last. From his early days on Gold Rush, he's had to tackle every kind of obstacle imaginable. Faulty machinery, treacherous terrain, and the constant pressure to meet quotas are just a part of the job. But betrayal, especially from someone so close, introduced a different kind of challenge, one that tests your resolve in ways no equipment failure ever could. As the weeks turned into months, the impact of the theft lingered. It wasn't just about replacing stolen items. It was about rebuilding the morale of his crew and the trust in his circle. Mining is already a high-stakes game, where every decision counts. Losing time and resources to theft compounded the difficulties, creating a ripple effect that stretched far beyond his operation. Rick's ability to adapt in the face of this adversity is a testament to his unyielding determination. For Rick, rebuilding wasn't an option, it was a necessity. His livelihood depended on it. Taking a methodical approach, he began prioritizing tasks to stabilize his operation. First, he worked on replenishing the stolen equipment. Some tools were replaced through orders, while others were borrowed from fellow miners who sympathized with his plight. The process wasn't quick or easy, but it was a step in the right direction. Beyond the material losses, Rick also focused on repairing relationships within the community. While some locals rallied behind him, others questioned his decision to involve law enforcement. For Rick, the choice wasn't personal, it was practical. Allowing theft to go unpunished sets a dangerous precedent, especially in a community that relies so heavily on mutual respect and cooperation. He knew that taking action wasn't just about justice. It was about setting the tone for how such issues would be handled in the future. The process of rebuilding wasn't without its hurdles. Skeptics in the community voiced their opinions, creating an atmosphere of tension. Rick, however, stayed focused on his goals. He knew that dwelling on negativity would only distract from what needed to be done. With each passing day, he worked tirelessly to restore his operation to full capacity, ensuring that his team had the tools and resources they needed to succeed. Despite the challenges, Rick found moments of encouragement along the way. Messages from fans, offers of assistance, and small victories in his operation reminded him that he wasn't alone. These moments fueled his determination, serving as a beacon of hope during an otherwise trying time. Rick's resilience became not just a personal triumph, but a source of inspiration for many who followed his path. One of the biggest lessons Rick took away from this experience was the importance of vigilance. While he'd always considered his community a safe haven, the theft was a stark reminder that caution is crucial. Strengthening his site's security wasn't just about preventing future incidents. It was about restoring his sense of control. For Rick, knowing that his operation was secure brought a renewed sense of confidence and focus. As Rick continues his path, he remains committed to the values that have always defined him: hard work, loyalty, and perseverance. While the betrayal was a painful chapter, it didn't define him. Instead, it became a catalyst for growth, pushing him to adapt and overcome in ways he never anticipated. Rick's ability to rise above adversity is a testament to his character, proving that even in the face of setbacks, success is within reach for those who refuse to give up. Looking ahead, Rick is more determined than ever to achieve his goals. The theft may have slowed him down, but it didn't stop him. With the support of his crew, his fans, and the lessons he's learned along the way, Rick is poised to turn this challenge into yet another victory. His story serves as a powerful reminder that resilience, determination, and a steadfast belief in yourself can overcome even the toughest obstacles. After every problem comes a chance to show not just skill, but the determination to keep going when it's hardest. A hard road to mining success. He has carved out a name for himself in the cutthroat world of gold mining. From humble beginnings as part of Parker Schnable's crew to leading his own operation, he has taken risks that have paid off big, sometimes bigger than even expected. And while the story is full of ups and downs, it's the ability to bounce back that sets him apart. Let's dive into the gold-filled highlights of this mining career and see how dirt was turned into millions. The path to gold mining fame started on Parker Schnable's team, where the ropes were learned and a reputation as a hard worker was earned. But staying in someone else's shadow was never part of the plan. By season 9 of Gold Rush, it was time to bet on personal abilities. Running an independent mining operation was no small task, but the first season set a goal of mining 1,000 ounces of gold. Not only was that target hit, but it was exceeded, pulling in 1,105 ounces. To put that into perspective, that's over $1 million of gold in just one season. For a first attempt at independence, it was not just impressive, it was a statement. But mining isn't all glitter and glamour. Success came with a heavy dose of sweat, dirt, and relentless determination. By season 12, the stakes were higher than ever. Mining operations are expensive, and with bigger goals came bigger challenges. In episode 5 of that season, the crew struck gold, literally. Their hard work paid off with a payout worth $173,000. That haul was their biggest of the season and proved there was what it took to keep climbing the ladder of success. Later in season 12, the pressure ramped up. The landowner demanded that production be doubled, or the mining claim would be at risk. Talk about high stakes. But instead of folding under pressure, the crew delivered their most significant gold haul yet in episode 22. This wasn't just a big moment for the season, it was a career-defining achievement. The massive find allowed the land to be purchased outright, securing operations for the future. Owning the claim wasn't just a financial win. It was proof of becoming a leader in the industry. Fast forward to season 14, and challenges weren't letting up. Equipment breakdowns threatened progress. But backing down from a fight isn't an option here. Investing in a new water pump turned out to be a game changer. With this new setup, over $155,000 worth of gold was uncovered. It wasn't the biggest haul, but given the circumstances, it was a testament to resilience. Adapting to setbacks and finding a way to succeed, that's the formula. This career on Gold Rush isn't just about the gold mine, it's about the grit it took to get there. Mining is a brutal business. The hours are long, the conditions are harsh, and the risks are enormous. For every ounce of gold, there are hours of backbreaking labor, strategic decisions, and the ability to adapt when things don't go as planned. It's not just about striking it rich, it's about proving to oneself and everyone watching that there is what it takes to win. Throughout the seasons on the show, the story has been one of growth and determination. Each year brought new challenges, but obstacles were never allowed to define the path. From learning the ropes with Parker Schnable to becoming an independent operator with some of the biggest hauls in the show's history, the path is a masterclass in perseverance. The ability to take risks, learn from mistakes, and keep pushing forward is what makes this one of Gold Rush's standout stories. The gold may glitter, but it's the grind behind the scenes that truly shines. In the unpredictable world of gold mining, it's been proven time and again that staying on top is possible. Whether dealing with equipment failures, high-stakes deadlines, or the pressure to outperform competitors, the focus remains unshakable. The numbers tell part of the story: thousands of ounces of gold and millions of dollars in payouts. But the real story is in the grit, determination, and heart brought to the table. The biggest gold discoveries may have turned heads, but it's the resilience that leaves a lasting impression. Before the golden success, life was already teaching him to stay strong and ready for challenges he couldn't yet see. From heavy equipment to gold dreams. Gold wasn't just struck, it was earned, 1 ounce at a time. The path is far from over, and if the track record is any indication, the best finds may still be ahead. Gold mining isn't for the faint of heart, but for some, it's more than just a job, it's a calling. As the seasons go on, one thing's for sure: waves will continue to be made in the gold mining world. Born on March 5, 1981, in Schnable, Michigan, a blue-collar family that ran a construction company set the foundation for success. Days were filled with hard work, loud machinery, and learning the kind of skills that would eventually come in handy in ways never imagined. Alongside a twin brother, Randy, life was practically raised behind the controls of heavy equipment, picking up an intuition for machines that would one day prove invaluable. This wasn't just a job, it was a crash course in resilience. As a teenager, he had his sights set on football. He attended Schnable Area High School, where he stood out as an athlete with serious promise. Football wasn't just a pastime, it was a passion. He poured himself into the game, excelling to the point of earning a spot on his college team. But life had other plans. A devastating head injury abruptly ended his football career, shattering his dreams of gridiron glory. Forced to pivot, he found himself at a crossroads, unsure of where to channel his energy and ambition. By the early 2000s, he had traded the football field for a new stage, the music world. In 2003, he moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with his mom, Judy Marie Bedard, a decision that would steer his life in a whole new direction. Music wasn't just a hobby, it became his way of expressing himself. A year later, he joined the .357 string band, a group known for blending bluegrass with punk, a gritty, no-nonsense sound that suited his personality. He picked up the upright bass, and the band quickly gained momentum, releasing 3 albums over the next 6 years. Ghost Town in 2006, Fire and Hail in 2008, and Lightning from the North in 2010 solidified their reputation. The band toured relentlessly, playing to packed crowds and carving out a dedicated fan base. But by 2011, the road had taken its toll, and the group disbanded. Once again, he found himself searching for the next big thing. That next big thing came out of left field. While performing at the Southeast Alaskan State Fair in Haines, Alaska, he crossed paths with Parker Schnable, a young gold miner who had already made a name for himself on the Discovery Channel's Gold Rush. At the time, he had 0 experience in mining, but what he lacked in knowledge, he made up for with sheer determination. 9 months after their initial meeting, Parker offered him a job on his crew. The transition wasn't seamless, but his background in construction gave him an edge. He knew his way around heavy machinery, and that made him a quick learner in the rough and tumble world of gold mining. His big break came during Season 3 of Gold Rush. The work was grueling, and the stakes were sky high, but he thrived under pressure. By Season 5, he'd proven himself enough to earn a promotion to foreman of Parker's crew. As Parker's right-hand man, he was responsible for overseeing operations and keeping the team on track. It was a role that required leadership, problem-solving, and a whole lot of grit, qualities he had been honing his entire life. For 6 seasons, he stood by Parker, helping to uncover impressive amounts of gold and solidify the show's reputation as a fan favorite. Was Rick Ness's betrayal a simple act of greed, or is there a deeper plan to sabotage his success? Share your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.